Hi everyone, this is Tracy from We Craft at Home. Thanks for joining me. And as you saw by the photos, we're going to do a Mother's Day card with the butterflies that are kept in the card and the wings are just going up. Similar to the hearts that I done recently, but I thought I'd show you how to make a butterfly and go from there. So, all I'm using are these shapes here. For the butterfly, I want this one and this one. And what we're going to do is turn this around so it's about there, and then we want this one, and now we're just going to muck around with the shapes until we're happy that it looks kind of like a butterfly. So for this I'm going to use the nodes. Now I always click hide the control points, which are what we need right now, so that box has to be unticked, because what the control points do is round it off a little bit. So I'm just going to see, because I need this side, it's a straight line. So what we have to do is click this and turn it into a curve, and then you'll see miraculously they all appear. And I want it to come in, not too much, just a little. See, now that's made this one come out. If we just come down, then it will go back in. Okay, this side, same thing. I want it to come arched up a little bit. So again, I'm going to change it to a curved line. This one up here. But I'm going to bring it out. And remember, if the other lines change, like they've done here, all we need to do is shorten that until they look more like they should. So all I wanted it was to curve out a little bit. That seems to... Okay. Oh, what's happened here? So you see, you just got to play around with them all until you're happy with the shape that you make. And that's all I want really, is just a little bit of shape. And then this one, I think I'll narrow it a little bit actually. Twist it round a little bit. Okay, let's see how that goes. So I'm going to weld it and see how it looks. Okay, we need more space here, so I'm going to undo and put this so that it is more, it's really just playing with it until you're happy with what you've got. I just want to make sure this point is not sticking out. So let's try that. Okay, I think I'm fairly happy with that. So if I duplicate it and then flip it horizontally so that we've got both sides like that, and then these shapes are going to make the body. So we've got the head, we've got the middle of the body. I don't know if you can see, I've done it there, but on this, if I get a bit closer, I feel like I shouldn't have that gap there. So display, zoom to max size. So I'm going to try and not have so much of a gap. This one we need to turn, and that will be narrower. Just thinking, I think I'm going to have that one. And we'll turn that. And then before we do anything else, we'll just make sure it's all centralized and then weld. And there we have our little middle of a butterfly that we would put here. Let's stretch it a little bit. And then I'm going to duplicate it. So we've got, because we need one separate as well. Let's put that to the side there. It might need to be a little bit bigger. So what's that? Width 175. So we'll just make sure we do that one as well so that we know. Okay, so we know that's the sort of size we want. We don't actually need to put it onto the butterfly because it's the wings we need. We're going to have a card and we're going to do it 7 by 7. So if we think about it, we want a matte layer. So we've got a darker colour behind that. So the first one would be 6 3/4. And then if we duplicate, we can make that one 6 1/2. So we'll put this one to the side because that's just a backing. And we need to fit the wings on here. But first of all, we want some detail on the wings, and that's where this one comes in. I'm just going to flip it. So what we're going to do is just bring it in so it's a lot narrower, but it still goes bigger at the top. And we're going to do a few down the bottom and some at the top as well. So just going to turn it. If we do the next one next to it and turn it, and then do it a little bit smaller, and then if we duplicate that one, it should be perfect for the other side, except we need to turn it a bit more. Okay, so we want it like that. So we've got one there, and one there, like that. And then we're going to do the same up here. If you don't like that pattern, I did try doing it with just doing some lines, but I think I prefer this. I think it looks a bit nicer. We can do it a bit smaller, but I think it's better with the gaps like that. So if we get all them three, if we group them and then duplicate them, what we really should have done is done them all on one side and then duplicated so that it's exactly the same. So let me do that. So if we bring it up, and what I want to do, I want to pull it a bit longer and in a bit. And it looks like we might need an extra one. So I'm going to do that one. Ungroup it. I think I like the look of that one. Duplicate that one. And then bring it down here and turn it. Okay, so it's a very simple butterfly I'm showing you. Let's just ungroup the layers, because what we're going to do now is get rid of this. Then we're going to move that, get all this, and subtract, and hopefully, yes. So now it's taken all the things out of there. So now we can duplicate and it will be exactly the same. So duplicate and flip, and then we've got it together. And what we can do there is make sure it goes centrally through the middle. And there we have our butterfly wings. If we colour them so you can see, let's do them a nice lilac. You can see the holes in there. And then we need to consider putting them on the card. So we're going to need a lot of them. But first of all, we need to make them so that we can put them on the card so they don't completely cut out of the card, like I've done on here. And then what we're going to do is put the body in the middle and stick it on afterwards. That's the idea. So for that, I didn't get the shape out for that. We need the thin rectangle. You can actually pick any shape, as long as it's a shape where you can go extra thin and as long as you want. It depends how much you want to cut out, or you can do the line like I've done before. What we need to do first, I was trying to group it, that didn't work. So we are going to weld. Now I've just slightly gone over. If I get close, you'll see I've only slightly gone over. I just need them to merge together. So if I pick them both and weld, it's only that spot there. Now this one we need to bring to the front. And you can see we can now put it down the center so we know it goes through the middle and subtract. And all it does is take the middle out. We haven't finished yet though, because that was still completely cut out. Now we can hide the control points. We don't need them, because all we're going to do is take each separate one, and this line here we need to go and open up the outline like that. That one should be that one, and open up the outline. There we go. That it's as simple as that. Now we're going to bring it down in size quite a lot. Display, zoom to matte size. Now we're going to take this little buddy and make sure he fits like a body should onto, let's bring you forward, and I'm going to turn him a dark grey so that we can see him and make sure he fits. And then you're just going to play around until you are happy with how he fits. That's a bit big, isn't it? Okay, and then all we're going to do there is fit some onto the card. That's still too big, so I'm going to put the body with it to make sure that we're fitting everything correctly. And we definitely need to come down quite a lot. Now you can change the shape of your butterfly. Butterflies are all different shapes. You don't have to have a real looking butterfly, but let's duplicate. Let's have a few of them. Layer, duplicate, and then I am going to duplicate again, but for these I'm just going to pull them out the way, make them a bit smaller, and then duplicate again, and pull them a bit smaller, but we'll have a few of them, so we will duplicate again. And what we're going to do is just fly them up the card so they're going eventually off the card. So I'm going to speed this bit up while I just put them all at different angles going up the card. Okay, so you get something like that. I know they're coloured. They're obviously not going to be a different colour to the card unless you colour them in once they're cut out. And then all you're going to do is make sure you do enough of these for each butterfly, sizing them down for the sizes down you went. And then I've just done a Happy Mother's Day sign, and when we're over at the craft table I was going to put a flower design on there as well. Now you can see I've done some butterfly trails. That is very simply using the freehand tool, which is the one with the wiggly line. The path tool is just straight lines from point to point. The wiggly line is freehand, so you'd go this one could be going. You don't want to do all of them, obviously, because that might look a bit silly. We'll do a few little ones, and we'll do that nice one there. do one going through there. Okay, so then we'll go back on select all. If you go, this is easier, if you go to the layers and you pick them all up, so first one, hold shift, top one, and it picks them all up, and then you change it to a dotted line. Now choose the one that would be better for a butterfly trail, which I think is the second one. That's the one I used. And then change it to draw and choose whatever colour you want to do the trail at. And that can be, because I think it'll be too messy with too many trails. So you can do that with your Mother's Day, and then you can put all these, stick them on the top so they've all got bodies in the centre of them. And then the wings will just lift up and you'll see whatever colour you put underneath on this. Might look nice in vellum actually, if you put a nice colour underneath. That would look amazing. Okay, so I mean that is really it. Do your text if you want to do the sentiment as a cutout or change it to draw. If you change it to draw and you colour it in, it will colour it in for you. But it has to be coloured in over here on canvas for it to colour it in when you put it through the machine. So there's that as well. Do it to whatever size you prefer, and then we'll add a bit more detail when we're over at the craft table. So I'll see you over there. Okay, so I'm over at the craft table. I was just getting my card together. I've already cut it out and I've already put the bodies on, because what I've done, can you see? I've already used some peel-off sheets I've got. I'll leave a link down below if any of you want to get them. It's from Pinflair, but it's their eBay site, and you get 50 sheets for about a £5. They're brilliant. I think they're 8x8 sheets if I remember rightly, or they do DL size as well. So anyway, I'll leave a link below for that. I have cut out loads of flowers and greenery, all in the vellum. What I've done, I coloured using alcohol markers and then just cut a load of stuff out. So I done some purple so that we've got a bit of purple in there, and greenery. I've done a light purple, though it looks pink right now, so I'm not sure. And what I used for the flowers was punches, and I'm just going to show you them. So these are very, very old punches I've got, and the name is not on them, but I'm sure these were Nellie Snellen. So you get the one to punch, and then you can emboss it, and many, many years old these are. That's how they come out, and they're beautiful in vellum, they really are. Can you see all the embossed lines on it? Yeah, and I've done the same with this, which is more like a snowflake, but it makes a beautiful flower as well, and again you get the embossing. So that is that one. And then this is a really, really old punch, but it is still my favourite. It makes a tiny, tiny flower. Let me find one like that. But they are great for filling in some spaces. So I use it all the time, and do you know what? It is the easiest punch to use out of every punch I've got. It's the smallest but the mightiest. So anyway, I've gone with purple, as you can see, and I am just going to so that it's easier, I am just going to use one of these. Would help to use it the right way. I don't often use these, but I've always got them. This is a tonic one I got in a, because I get the monthly tonic kits. So like I said, I've used a 7x7 card. Be careful what your cards measure at, because mine measure just under the 7x7 so that they'll fit into the envelope. And the envelope itself is 7x7. So when you get them, be sure to check what ones you got. Now I'm hoping this one is the dotted one, which is always better on the vellum, but yeah. This is a very, very thick vellum, so you're probably not going to be able to see it anyway, but you need to use something that is not visible, or I mean, you could use brads to put it in. Just trying to get round everything as best I can. I wouldn't go this far normally, but I know that it won't show up in this. This vellum I've got, can you see? It's got a shimmer to it. It's beautiful, but it is very thick. I'm surprised it worked as well as it did in the scan and cut, because I do have a few mistakes, but I'm hoping I can get over that. So for the flowers, I am going to use my pin flare, simply because I know it's going to be easier to stick the flowers onto vellum, like vellum onto vellum, and it's going to be easier to display them. So I'm not going to do like the big blob that I normally would. I am just going to put a few blobs down. So far we've just got a nice little flower arrangement in the corner, the butterflies going up. What I'll do is decorate, and I've got these two out, but I don't know now if yellow would be the right colour, so I might change that. What have I got up here? Let's try that actually. On the purple ones I'm going to try this. I think that might be quite nice. And then maybe a deeper purple on the pink and white ones. Let's try yellow. Oh, that's quite pretty actually, isn't it? Okay. Okay, so then like before when I showed you with the hearts, you just want to get a pokey tool. I'll have to get another one because I've got glue on that one. And then all you're going to do, oh, that was lucky. lift up one at a time. Like I said, this is like so you can see the underneath colour coming through, and just lift the wings up, and that's all you're going to do going through. Like I said, I had a lot of trouble with mine cutting through, but not as much as I thought, so I thought I'd get away with it. And all you're going to do is lift all your wings up like that. It's up to you whether you curl them round like I did at the top or just lift them up. But that'll be that. And then your message on here. Now, I did do the Happy Mother's Day on the screen, and then I changed my mind and thought I had a sentiment that I could have put on there, but I can't find it. So at the moment I'm going to leave it blank, but you'd put your sentiment up there, whether it be Happy Mother's Day or with love or whatever. And don't forget, it's ideal for a birthday card as well, obviously. And also I was thinking, with the butterflies, if you got a young girl, you could put a ballerina down in that corner instead of flowers, or some shoes, you know, that kind of thing, and it will work for so many different things. Okay then, well, that's my interpretation of it. I'd love to see all yours, and thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.